Hey, Megan. Hey, I get bored. I'm gonna wait on a few more people to get in here, but I was wanting to talk about um, to go into a little more depth than what I could last night. Influencers influence their followers, and how they can control what is being led into their content and their platform. Oh, crap. No. Hey, Jocelyn. Well, I may not be a very popular person after last night, considering, who graced the live and that I platformed Florida Man, and I should have asked him questions then. But no, I'll go into it a little bit more when a few more people get on. I did platform him when I found out about that list. I did then, and that's, when the hit, that hit list was a couple of days old by the time I found out about it. Because I had got off this app. Deactivated my page. And then for whatever reason, I was put on a hit list. Along with all kinds of children. Hey, Amber. Hey, PPO. I was, but it wasn't after last night, people's alliances are stronger than moral compasses, and I can understand that, but it just didn't sit right with me. And I just want to make it known, any of the moderators have nothing to do with what I say, and they can't control what I say or do on my platform. So I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about and who I want to talk about, because it has affected me. along with many others. I was trying to get the point across last night. We do awareness. I've always kept it on this app. I've always, what happened on this app, I keep it here. I've never done. And I can understand, a lot of people get done that way. A lot of people, their jobs are threatened, just all sort of things. But within our community, there's a few highly influential creators, influencers, that allow a man onto their platform. He might not be doing the doxing. He might not be someone's children. He might not be actively offering money for the children's photos on their platform at that time, because they don't condone that and they don't allow that. But they allow the man that does it, and they allow that man to influence their. I was thinking last night, let's play that what if game that Florida man loves to play. Well, what if they did this to me? What if that, whatever. Okay? What if Smashley or Dora chose to use their influence on their followers as to say, this stranger on the internet doesn't do good things, and I'm not going to allow that person onto my platform to influence and to be a danger to my followers, to spread the danger that he imposes on people, on children. People say all they can say all they want. They don't play that when it comes to children, all this and that. But allow the man that done that very thing. Welcome him, as long as he's not actively doing it on their platform. It makes it all okay, right? That makes it all right. But it don't. If Smashley said, no, Florida man, you are not welcome here because you do those things, then you wouldn't, Florida man, you wouldn't have in her chat, oh, I feel bad for him. I can understand why he does the things he does. I couldn't tell you all the craziness that these followers say, all because Smashley's for it. She's for Florida man. She's not for the things he does. But she rides for a stranger on the internet that she would never allow into her own home. But that man is allowed onto her platform that gives people's homes addresses out, their names. There's no telling what all he's done that we don't know. He doesn't show us everything he does. He only shows what he can get by without being criminally charged for the things he does. He pushes it to that limit. And past their friendships on this app to see what damage that man is doing to everyone. It's not just to the ones they don't like. It is actually doing them harm. It's doing their followers harm. It's doing the awareness community harm. It's doing the T-Page community harm. It's doing everyone harm. And then you got messy talk mingling in with everything. It's a shit show. There are victims from it. And then you've got a lot of people pointing the finger at the victims of this man that's caused all of this. I was told my energy shouldn't be directed at Smash or Dora, but it should be. And it should be everyone's energy directed toward them for the fact they allow the man that does those things onto their platform. They allow that. That's what they allow. They don't allow his actions, but they allow the man that does it. And say, oh, well, I like him. So, I stand alone in what I say, and if anyone wants to question me about my morals, that's fine. But these people, Dora, Smash, that are mad at me, should be mad at themselves. They should direct that energy at themselves. Because if they didn't platform the man that done those things, then I wouldn't be saying nothing about him. Right? I know I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be here if he had never been that list. I wouldn't be right here at this moment in time if he had not made that list. And then try to say he joked about threatening children. You don't joke about things like that. It was not a joke. He can say it was a joke all he wants, but it's not. That is not a joke. You don't have to tap Deanna. That's when Miss Homie asked me when I platformed Florida Man, why didn't I ask my questions then? I was in shock. I was seeing red. I was triggered. And all I wanted to do was go through that phone and get rid of the threat. Handle stress differently to the next. The way I handle mine is not to run, it is not to hide, it is not to cower. And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with any of those things, that it just different people do different things. But my whole life, until about past 10 years or so, I did those things. I took it, I endured it, I looked the other way, I ignored it, I was a dust cover, hid everything, just to get by, to make it easier for everyone else around me to keep doing what they do. But the moment I started standing up for myself, the moment I quit backing down, quit taking it, quit enduring it, that was a problem. That was a big problem. Just like it is now. With these people got a problem with me, I'm not taking it. That man threatened minor children. And please forgive me if I didn't ask him all the questions that I I wanted to ask him then, forgive me for that, please. And if not, well, you know, I got to live with that. But so do you. I will not be shut up. I will not go into another live and be paid to be, for someone to drop me to be silenced. After I watched that on Gravy Train last night, Florida Man, Bougie, his whole gang utilizes that tactic, pay to drop, to silence, to mock, to humiliate. And they were using those platforms that, I think I'm seeing the bigger picture here. And when most of those people who are upset with me because of their friends, because I've done hurt their friends by calling them out, well, I've always said awareness is a double-edged sword. There's no way around that. And you try to do the best you can. And that's what I've always tried to do. I'm not perfect. But yeah, it upset me. I got a little more upset after the live ended. Because for one, I was not going to go to bed until I found that clip of Smash saying what she said about Florida Man stealing the cards. Because I will stand on it. I don't think she was joking, and I don't think she was being sarcastic. I've seen some clips, and I'll post those too, Smash, if you want to see them, of someone in your channel. I think it was a moderator telling you to ask me if you was joking or not about that. See, it was just me against you and all of your followers that you influence along with Florida Man, that you allow onto your platform as to ridicule and mock and gaslight and call names of one of the people on his hit list, where he also threatened children. Now, if it was just me, adult to adult, I would say game on. But it's like all you guys, I'm not talking about y'all, but everyone who likes Florida Man but doesn't condone what he does, and they're not allowing it onto their platform. He don't do that over here. But he is welcome here. They roll that window down and chunk all their morals right out that window. And then blame his victims. I showed the proof that you asked for, Smash. It's up, posted. And I'm sorry to anyone, like I was saying, if this affects, anyone connected to me, because apparently, people start pulling strings, that has thousands of followers and, that does awareness. And, as to come at me to ask me why. If anyone's seen that live where I platformed that man, knows exactly why I platformed that man. And like I said, forgive me for not asking all the questions I wanted to ask then. When I was triggered, traumatized, nor did they care. All they care about is Smashley and Dora. Does it allow that? Does it allow him to do those things on his platform? They can't control that man, but they can control him walking through that door. I mean, people watch that door constantly. Constantly. They blocked troll accounts, but they won't block a man who threatens children and come over there to be able to play in the victims' faces. Won't block a man who threatens children and come over there to be able to play in the victims' faces. We don't condone it, but we're going to laugh and just yuck it up with him, knowing he probably stole those cards and made that business go under, someone's livelihood. He probably stole those cards and made that business go under, someone's livelihood. The moment they let him onto their platform, or even just in their chat, they're okay with it enough to let him in, to let him keep manipulating, to influence people around him, including them. Or they're just enjoying and reveling in the grief he causes, the destruction he causes, and wants to be a part of it. Or maybe to profit off of it. But it's not right. And I know this world's not fair. I'm not going to holler like a child. It's not fair. Because that is up to us adults to stand for what is right. And that's their choice of what they're standing up for. I'm standing for myself and those children he threatened. I don't care if I didn't ask my questions then. It could be however old I live the day before I'm not here anymore. I will never questions then. It could be however old I live the day before I'm not here anymore. I will never question my... And if people get offended by their faces being showed on posts or talked about in a live, whatever, then maybe they need to quit being the company they keep. Situations just like that will not be talked down to, all because grown women can't control what a grown man does, but yet can control whether they influence their followers or not on a social media app. They can control that. They can control him to an extent. And this is my choice. And as to try to silence me, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can get this account banned. I can make another one. I don't think I'm a nobody. I'm a somebody, just like everyone is, even Florida man. But I'm not that kind of somebody. And I don't allow that kind of somebody onto my platform and he not know he is not welcome for what he has done and still doing. He knew he messed up. That's why he went the day after me and him was live together, he was, all of a sudden, it was a joke. A joke. Because I wasn't joking. But he made it out that way. Hell, even Spread Love was on his side about that. Spread Love. I mean, I don't know if y'all know about Spread Love, but she had his back on that one. And apparently I'm her lost great-great-great-grandma, or whatever she said. So, but people don't allow her on their platform. I haven't really watched her or, paid much attention to that person. I don't know if she's directly threatened children like Florida Man. Watched her or, paid much attention to that person. I don't know if she's directly threatened children like Florida Man. And it's up to the content creators, to the influencers on who they allow onto their platform. And yes, you're condoning their behaviors, even though you say you don't. Even though you don't allow him or any person to actively do it on your platform. I will direct my anger, my frustration, the just outright disgust at people who allow people like that to just keep going. Just to keep going. So, yeah, I feel the same way, Jamie. But I shouldn't be nitpicking at somebody for sitting with him, to allowing him to help him keep doing what he's doing. That is helping him. He's using their platform for support in what he does. I mean, when you got a host's followers in the chat saying, Team Florida Man, Team Florida Man, I will go and testify against somebody for a Florida Man. Then that's some pretty bad stuff right there. I mean, that's pretty much condoning, supporting, even though you're not allowing him to do it on your platform, you're supporting him doing it wherever he's doing it. So, no, you know they wouldn't. You know they wouldn't. Not unless they were in a vulnerable place. Because he seems to be pretty good at that. Using one's vulnerabilities against them and to get what he wants. But the majority of the women and however many men he sits around, no, they wouldn't. Exactly. I wouldn't want him near my dogs. I wouldn't want it. I mean, apparently he can't be around anything. I mean, he's alone in a van. Well, but I do have control over who I sit with and who sits with me. And I will never let someone like Florida Man sit with me. But yet knowing they're hurting other people. I can't do that. Some can, apparently. Very clearly, some can. And that's on them. That is on them. But I will not cover that hit list, because it did weigh on my mental very heavily. I mean, when you threaten a parent's children, any minor children connected to them, that affects your mental. No way around that. But thank goodness he didn't affect their mental health like he did mine. I mean, I can't be that good of a person and say that. And I will not excuse it by saying it's going around. It is within my control who I let sit with me. Yeah. He is definitely a liar, manipulator. I mean, he is all kind of things. And none of them are good. Not one thing. Even the laughs he brings to the people because he's getting away from the cops, or he's laughing because he's mocking one of his victims, or, why are they laughing? I've heard it said, well, he makes me laugh. Yeah. That man will stop at nothing to get what he wants, whether it's Pokemon cards or apparently whether it's Pokemon cards or apparently but again, I'm going to say this is on me. Everything I've said. But again, I'm going to say this is on me. Everything I've said is mad at me. But I hope when you look in that mirror, ask you really why you're mad at me. So, thank you guys for being here. And